Hello and welcome to Pictorial Planet. My name is John Finch. Today we're going to be talking about 510 Pyro again. If you remember, a couple of days ago I uploaded a video on how to make 510 Pyro. It's a very easy developer to make and a great developer to use. Now, yesterday I took my camera out and took some photographs on some FP4. And today we're going to process those images. Now, I always say, when you go out to take photographs, think about how you're going to process those images. Look at the conditions. Decide how you're going to develop them. And yesterday was a sunny day with snow on the ground. There was quite a lot of contrast. And I thought, I need to develop these to contain that contrast, to bring the contrast of the film down to a level that I'll be able to print in the darkroom. 510's a marvelous developer for doing that. One of the things 510 does very well is semi-stand and stand development. And today we're going to do a semi-stand development with this developer. Semi-stand with 510 is a 20-minute development. You dilute 1 + 200. You agitate for the first minute and then for 1 minute halfway through. So let's see how it's done. So the first thing I need to do then, I have a jug here of 20 centigrade water, and I'm going to put 400 milliliters into this. There. 400. Now this developing tank here is a 35mm developing tank, and it says on the bottom it takes 300 or 280 milliliters, I think it is. I've always used 300 minimum, but it'll actually take way over that. I can get up to 500 in here with plenty of space still in the top. So I'm going to use my 400 milliliters in here. It makes the mathematics much easier. So just check that. In the 400 milliliters, I'm going to add 2 milliliters. Now, this reminds me, I've got my gloves out because you don't want to get this stuff on your hands. And whenever I develop, it comes out of the tank. I get some on my fingers and my hands and stuff. So please wear gloves when you're developing with a pyro-based developer. In fact, probably all developers. There we are. Okay, so let's open this up and get 2 milliliters into this water here. Now, I'm going to use a syringe. You can get these from the pharmacy. And I'm just going to, this is a 3 milliliter syringe, so I can accurately measure 2. There it is. Pop that in there. I'm sitting the developing tank in the 20 centigrade water bath just to get it to a nice temperature. It's been in there for about half an hour. Okay, close that up, we don't want any accidents. And I'm going to give this a little stir. The TEA that's used to make 510 Pyro is quite heavy. It sits at the bottom there. And if I don't give it a good stir and get it all mixed in, my initial development's not going to be very good. So we'll get that in there. I'm going to check the temperature. I'm looking for 20. 20.4. Nice. That's fine. Okay, so here we go. We've got the clock ready here. We've got the developer ready. We have the water stop bath ready here. And we have the fixer. Always check these tanks are tight on. We don't want this top falling off here. So here we go. Semi-stand development. Pour it in, start the clock. We're going to give it 1 minute of gentle but firm agitation. Now all I'm doing here is saturating the film emulsion with the developer. And there's our minute. So I'm going to wrap the developing tank a couple of times to make sure there's no bubbles sticking to the film, and I'm going to pop it in the water bath. And that's it. This really is the way to develop a film. I'm going to wait 10 minutes now, and in 10 minutes time I'm going to give it another minute's agitation. Let's fast forward this video so you can see that happen. Okay, she's coming up to 9 minutes now, and I'm going to start my 1 minute agitation. This is the halfway point, roughly. The developer's just been sat there completely still. There. That's plenty. Set it back in the water bath and let it be for another 10 minutes. Okay, with a couple of minutes to go, I'm going to prepare my water stop bath. I have a 1 litre jug here. I'm just going to fill it with this water that's already at 20 centigrade. And then this water will be used for my wash at the end. So here we're coming up to our 20-minute point. Because the great thing about these stand development techniques is there's no rush. You can take your time. A few seconds here and there is not going to make any difference with this technique. So you can see the 510 pyro there is oxidized. It's turned a much browner color, like tea, which makes me as a Brit very happy. And we're going to do our water stop technique. So I pour in about 300 or 400 milliliters, and then I'm just going to agitate it for about 30 seconds. It's really important you don't use an acid stop bath with a pyro developer. It's not required, and it just takes away some of the stain. And there's no point in using a pyro developer if you're not after the stain. You may as well use something else if you don't want that. Now this kind of water stop will work with any developer. You can use this with Rodinal, metol based developers like D76, D23, any of them at all. However, if you have a short development time, less than 6 minutes, you really don't want to be using a water stop bath. You need at that point to be thinking about stopping it very quickly, because with such short development times, the few seconds longer it takes to stop the development will make a difference to the image quality. So for long developments like this one, water stop bath is the way to go. For short developments under 6 minutes, you really need to use an acid stop bath. I have my fix ready here. It's an alkaline fix. You can see it's slightly discolored, and that's from fixing pyro negatives. So you do get a little bit of the stain coming into the fixer. So I'm just going to empty the last of that water out of this, and then I'm going to fix the film. And I'm going to fix the film for twice the clearing time. I want to fix it for as short a time as possible, so that I don't take away any of the nuances in the shadows and the highlights. So I need to keep it as short as possible. I'm going to use 2 times the clearing time, and I'll show you how to do that now. So we'll set the clock and put in our fix. And I'm going to agitate this gently for 15 to 20 seconds. And then I'm going to open the top and I'm going to have a look. After this length of time, you can't do any harm to the film by opening the top. So you may as well do the rest of the whole process with the top off. I'm having a look now to see if I can see any cloudiness. And actually I can't. It's already fixed, that film. So I'm just going to give it a minute. And I just leave it in the fixer, top off, and just dunk it gently, every so often, into the fixer. I'm using 400 milliliters of fixer, even though it's only a 300 milliliter tank. That extra fixer just helps. It just helps fix it. So there we are. There's our minute. The film's fully fixed now. There's no reason to keep the film in any longer. Now I know that with some films, such as T-Max, it takes longer to fix the film. So you just have to watch when you open up the tank and see how long it takes for the cloudiness of the film to disappear. Just keep dunking it gently with your fingers until that cloudiness goes, and then fix it for twice that time. So there we have it. We're fixed. Now what I need to do is wash the film, and I'm going to use the Ilford washing method. So we'll take our 20 centigrade water here. I'm going to cover the film by about 1 inch. I'm going to put the top back on, and what I'm really doing this first time is I'm just rinsing the film rather than washing it out. So this is just a very quick rinse. I do 5 inversions. Like so. And pour that rinse water out. Now the next one is going to be a wash. So again, pour it in. Top on. 5 inversions. 2, 3, 4, 5. This time, 10 inversions. Now this Ilford film washing method, 2, 3, can be used for any fix. It doesn't have to be an alkaline fix. Nine. I think that's about 10. It's hard to talk and count at the same time. And this last wash is 20 inversions. And I want to leave enough in here so I can use my LFN to stop any water spots on the film when it dries. So this is 20. And that's the film washed. Now the last thing we need to do is add the LFN. And the LFN, I think it's also Infotol, I think it's called, the Ilford version. Stops water beading on the film. It helps the water run off the film. So I have this little bottle of LFN here, and you put just 1 single drop. That's all you need. 1 drop in there. And then swish the film in and out 2 or 3 times to mix it all up. And then just leave the film for 2 minutes. So there we have it. This film's now ready to hang and dry. And the negatives look beautiful. Absolutely spot on. I'll show you those later. So here's the negatives. I've already cut them up. They look really good. Low fog, typical of 510. Nice contrast level. Let's have a look at them on the computer. So here we are at the computer, having a look at this. We're going to zoom in on this. This is a beautifully sharp developer, and with FP4, the two are made in heaven together. I'm just flicking through these. Let's go back to this one here, this grass and snow. And I want to show you the highlight compensation is amazing. Semi-stand development. Look at the snow here. You can see the details in zones 8 and 9. It's incredible. And yet it hasn't underdeveloped any other part of the negative. There's still contrast, there's nice dark shadows. Let's have a look at this. Look how sharp that is. Of course, the compensation also improves the acutance of the developer. Now, this is a flower that flowers throughout winter in Scotland. It's a beautiful flower. And if we just look at this, this is one I caught here. If you look at the highlight detail in these flowers, you can see every nuance. Absolutely beautiful. It's a first-class developer. I'll leave you with that. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to my channel to see more videos on developers, developing techniques, and other darkroom tricks and tips. Okay, thank you very much.